Hello. Alright. Not sure which mic is working, but okay. There we go. And welcome back to Global Pulse. Yeah. We're gonna take another look at this Hollywood AI movie Dream, which is now a horror show. So I guess it was about a year ago when one of the execs at Lionsgate gave us, the studio that gave us John Wick. God bless him. Anyways, this guy's name was Mike Burns, and he was talking. He was talking about their shiny new deal. They had a little AI company called Runaway, and they were looking to acquire it. And I think they did. Um, so what he was looking for is like an AI where he could basically tell it, like, I want a John Wick anime, and it has to be PG-13, and it would basically spit out this thing in about 3 hours. In like 3 hours, like that's the same, like, you can watch The Godfather in 3 hours. Yeah. Um, this guy thought, well, I mean, he had the right idea. Like, let's not get him wrong. I think he had the right idea. He just, he just a little too soon. I think there's a little bit more time that we need to, like, not process that we need for the AI to percolate. Like, there's probably some pretty sophisticated artificial intelligence out there, but I don't. There's nothing. I haven't heard of it. Like, I see and I hear, like, oh, there must be something bigger. But and look at the research I've done and the work I've done. I mean, does it go deeper? Is there more math to it or something? Am I missing something? Because, like, like, I'm looking at all the transformers and how they kind of, you can translate the math into code, and especially matrix multiplication. Like, I don't know. Am I missing something, or does it get deeper than that? But anyways, I know that, and as far as the generative transformers, like, that's what I guess I'm studying. But I can't go that, because I need to conceptualize that. If I run my range, I just get lost. But anyways, yeah, I think I'm missing something. Anyways, I have an idea. Like, but I think movies will stick around for, like, they have to, because like, the storytelling in the background, there has to be the human connection to. There can't be it can't be digestion of all these, like, thousands and thousands of other people's ideas, and mix them together and see what you get. I don't know. To me, it has to be a little bit more neat with the page, But it's a bro's fever dream, and, like, it's been a year. So what have they made in, like, a year? Nothing. 3-hour anime is now officially a year late. It's the Fire Festival of filming. So what happened? I guess the report from that gave us a punchline. People close to the project said, I quote, "The Lionshead catalog is too small to create a model. In fact, the Disney catalog is too small to create a model. Let that one marinate. Like, the entire empire built on the back of a cartoon mouse is not enough. Even Google, which has had the data mining, every cat video and flat earth man off YouTube for the past few years, has AI that still struggles with rendering geophysics. Like the standard pianist and nightmare, like, spaghetti fuel, like the nightmare fuel, like the spaghetti eating race. It's like, oh my god, I can close my eyes and still see it, and the texture of it, and it's like, I have trouble eating spaghetti. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen the video. It's like Will Smith and eating spaghetti, and it's just like the first iterations of AI. Like, the first time I seen AI, it was when they took all the videos and kind of mashed them up, and it was this really eerie kind of, like, you see kind of dude from Adam Sandler from Mythbusters in it. And it was just surreal. But I can see how they've honed and developed, and, like, they've shaved off the edges and stuff. But you can still see, like, I can still see that, like, uncanny valley deep within it. I don't know. It's really, but it left me, and that's why I don't think it has that ability to leap into, like, the physical movie replacement of an actor role, because there's the uncanny valley to it, no matter how hard you try. And even when you look at this, how CG try to jump in there, there's that realism, that sweat gland that just doesn't twinkle the same way humans does. But the CG didn't replace everybody. They replaced it in the right context. Like, hopefully AI finds something like that. The jobs that it's going to take from certain parts of filmmaking, I think it's going to be, it's going to shake up the industry definitely. But they're going to have to kind of work within the bounds of what they can create with the AI. I think so. I don't know. Maybe it'll take two different pathways, like the real film and AI film. Like I said, the children, like kids of today, are the ones that really kind of can project. They can let them see kind of project the future, what's going to be acceptable as far as entertainment. When we first saw Toy Story, we were all pretty blown away, but there was still some old schools that just said no, this can't. Anyways, like if you think of like all of these AI models and the eating the library that it needs to eat of data, like the Disney Vault, like that's what's being fed. That's if that's just to make one movie, it's wow. No, I mean, obviously the movies have different categories and whatnot, but like if you have access to like a Disney title, and you can't make it work with an AI, it means that AI still needs work. And in the future, the children, I don't say children, but I mean kids will be the ones that kind of lead the way. Remember in the movie Tropical Thunder, I can't remember the actor's name. He was talking about how movies are the kind of the way that leads the technology, like Ray and before. I don't know what he was actually talking about. He was talking about how whatever they use to make, or whatever they use to film or distribute jury movies with, if you know what I mean, that's what's going to lead into the mainstream. But I don't know how that's going to kind of work with AI. I know that with CG, it was great because you got Star Wars. Okay, you can build fantasy world, do anything you really want, and the actors for stunts, you could have actors come apart, explode, and just the possibilities are and were endless, like so. If we look at AI, where does the AI stand when it comes to the love scene? Like okay, we can make it obviously the AI makes a grotesque scene or whatever, and convincing grotesque scenes and whatnot, but make a convincing love scene or a touching moment with family members, and I think there's that key element. Like okay, if you can get an AI to pull off something that they lose, and we'll talk. But until then, there's a lot more. Like if I was going to lose, I would actually kind of look at my work and say, well, I have to protect this somehow, because if the AI gets a hold of that, we're all doomed. Because I'm really looking forward to the new movie his son directed. He pulled him out of retirement for. I wonder if. I would tell you, Norwood audition for that one. I wonder if you made it past the cat. No, that's not good. But anyways, Disney, they have a vault of material that you can work with that should be able to, but look, it's when you see the kind of face plant that they've kind of been doing over the past couple of years, you don't know where it's more of a dollar for Disney, right? So it's kind of I think that's what's going to lead the either demise or restructuring or rebuilding of Disney. Maybe they'll take it all and say, hey, we're no longer an animation company, we're no longer a real person company, we're an AI motion picture company. Just like they did it with Smite, like they were animation. People were looking at animation like, well, that's a different form of filmmaking. They didn't really take it seriously, kind of thought of it as a subgenre or whatever. And now look at it, it's kind of, it is entertainment. If you look at like, I don't think I've watched a sitcom that has real people in it in years. The Simpsons, I don't know. I never watched Friends. I mean, I guess I watched Friends, but I watch it live. I never watch a Friends rerun. I feel bad for the guys. I can't find humor in it anymore. A little bit Seinfeld actually kind of didn't go on time because there was so blatantly just like it was a show about nothing. So it really kind of nothing can nothing doesn't age. It ages well. It ages. It doesn't affect. It doesn't get affected. But anyways, if you wonder why I'm talking so. But when you think of how AI is going to take a lot of this data from whole films and TV and stuff like that, and like when I write my book, I talk about how you'll be able to take a Star Wars movie and make it your own. You can finish the ending, put yourself and your family members and stuff like that. And I don't think it's going that way just yet, but they looked at that in a certain way. But I think that would be more video game kind of genre and metaverse, in the metaverse and stuff like that. So AI still has to get into all of that in that section. So that's going to be another interesting battleground, because you're gonna have the tech bros and you're gonna have the classic. Like, there's always gonna be that clash. Okay, so anyways, let's move on. Uh, yeah, okay, well, if we talk about the magic behind AI, the two important design words to make you feel kind of stupid. Like artificial intelligence. I mean, reality intelligence as humans. I don't know. They want you to picture a thoughtful robot in a shiny lamp pondering the nature of art. But really, I don't think it. I mean, it probably can. No, it's hard to say. That the question of consciousness is a whole volume. And I know look, I'm a math. Like I do the math, and which I was never good at in school. You could just ask anybody that I went to school with. I'm terrible at math. I just managed to figure it out in grade 11. I was in grade 12, but I was thinking grade 11 math. I just figured algebra out. It was like kind of crazy. But I was a late bloomer. But anyways, and after I never needed it until I got into code. Then I needed it again. But, so when I think about how perceptron works, the math behind a perceptron, and then I think of how would the math, like, let me kind of go through this with you here. Like, it's just numbers. It's weighted numbers, and kind of like this is what I was trying to explain. Well, they are weighted based on the importance of the number before it through matrix multiplication, something like that. Anyways, I'm going to go through. I have somewhat of some notes here. Right? Well, here's what it really is. It's it's a math nerd who held itself back a few years, taught itself to guess the next word by reading every printed book on the internet. It's not intelligence. It's the world's most sophisticated plagiarist with a thesaurus. Say that 4 times fast. Plagiarist with a thesaurus. Plagiarist with a thesaurus. Plagiarist with a thesaurus. Plagiarist with a thesaurus. What I did. Okay. The U.S. Copyright Office, in a thrilling page turner of a report, explains that a neural network is just a bunch of digital knobs and dials. Right. Okay. The model's weights aren't deep flat. They're just a string of numbers. To teach a bag of numbers anything, you can't. You can show it art, and you can have it turn the art into more numbers. It's called organization. It was the age of wisdom. It was the age of foolishness. It's converted into a series of numbers like 480, 673, and 290, etc. See, that classic line from Dickens just became a own number. The AI isn't being the book. It's performing statistical analysis on a number, which is most likely to follow another number. It's glorifying automation. Oh, technology bites back. You see the classic from, it's like anything else. You can digitize it, turn it into a number, and turn it to ones and zeros. Qubits and zeros. That's going to be another one. We haven't even stepped into the quantum field with AI. That's another whole other ballgame. And Bitcoin too. I've got a lot to talk about Bitcoin. I've just broke its time, and I don't really like talking about it on this channel, but I have another channel that I don't want to be talking about it on. But I'll leave a link in the description. But I don't think I'm going to keep those two separate. Anyways, so to make this autocomplete work, it needs, I'm quoting the government here, millions or billions of works, like works of art. So much that we might soon exhaust the stock of publicly available texts. Oh, I mean, many works have been published works or your own works. A book is a work, I guess. How do you think a body of work, your body of work is. So, okay, so where do they get all? Well, let's see. First rule of disruptive tech. The technical question is, why pay for something when you can just get it? It's not theft. It's called training data. They start with the easy stuff like Wikipedia, public websites, and then that's not enough. The Copyright Office reports mention that they turn to well-known pirated sources, like shadow libraries and unauthorized BitTorrent trackers. That's right. To build the future of creativity, they're going through the same digital back alley they used to get. That we used to have to go through to get our virus-written copy of Photoshop back in 2007. And that's all. After backing up the entire history of human expression, that's the result. A survey of actual artists using these tools found the average filmmaker has to use 3 different AI tools per project, constantly generating multiple iterations just to fight the glitchy randomness. And there are 2 top priorities, and they're bringing this revolutionary tech. There are 2 top priorities: the constant body character movement and